Start.
Good evening, my dear students. I am going to teach you English literature of lesson 2. The previous class I have just taught you lesson number 2. Nat comes to Plumfield. Hope you have just gone through my class and understood the lesson a bit. Now I am going to recap the lesson. In the last lesson we have seen Nat Blake, the poor boy, he came to Plumfield and he met there Mrs. Josephine. Josephine or Mr. Briar and Mrs. Briar. They were running a special type of school there. And once he reached the school, he met the gatekeeper and he got a very warm welcome by getting a cheerful smile. And next he goes and he sees the maid. The maid also welcomed him very cheerfully and he was very comfortably made him sit in a big parlor or big hall. And there we saw what all things the boys of the Plumfield school they were doing there, and our poor boy, the small boy Nat, was enjoying their play. And he also suddenly saw a boy falling from the stairs, and forgetting himself, Nat went and helped him. And he was waiting in the hall for Mrs. Briar, enjoying the surroundings of the Plumfield school. So that was the content of the last class of mine, and today I am going to explain you the next part of the same lesson. Please listen to me. So the continuation of the class. All the important word meanings I will be writing it on the blackboard. Please kindly note it down. So in the last class I told that the servant, the maid, took the letter to Mrs. Josephine or Mrs. Briar, and the boy was patiently waiting in the big hall. Let me read the continuation. The servant returned. So we already knew that the servant or the maid went to Mrs. Josephine and she came back, she returned, saying with a nod. Saying with a nod. Nod means only shaking. Only she did not speak to she did not speak to the boy. She only nodded. She only shook her head, saying with a nod toward the parlor door. Parlor door. He was sitting in the hall and she showed him go to the parlor door. All right, you are to stop here. So as he reached the parlor door, she said, you stop here. You have to stop here. Don't go in. So this is my new boy. I am glad to see you, my dear, and hope you will be happy here, said Mrs. Briar, drawing him to her. So now Mrs. Briar or Mrs. Josephine is meeting Nat Blake, and see how happy she is. She has not met him before, but see the way she approached or the way she is dealing with him. She is telling, I am glad to see you. I am happy to see you. My dear. See, my dear whom do we call? To whom we love the most. She called the boy, my dear, and hope you will be happy here. She is telling the boy that I think you will be happy here in the Plumfield school. And drawing him to her. Drawing means she called. She did not speak. These all things she was thinking in her mind. And she called him. She told, come to me. She was not at all handsome. The appearance of Mrs. Josephine. The authoress is telling that she was not at all handsome. She was not beautiful. But she had a merry sort of face and generally jolly. She was not handsome, she was not beautiful, but she had got a smiling face. The authoress is telling that face merry sort of face and was generally jolly. Jolly means happy. As boys would say, this was the comment of the boys who were in the Plumfield school. See, you many times say your teachers, you make comments about the teachers, telling that, oh, that teacher is very strict, that teacher is not smiling, that teacher is beating me always, or that sir is very cruel. You used to make comments about your teachers. But here, the boys of the Plumfield school, she's telling that, they are telling that, the boys are telling that, she's not handsome, she's not beautiful, but she has got a sort of face, merry face and jolly face, happy face. That was the comment the boys of the school used to make about Mrs. Brier or Mrs. Josephine. She saw the little tremble of Nat's lips as she smoothed his hair, and her keen eyes grew softer, but she only drew the shabby figure nearer and said, laughing. See, we are just in the previous class I told about you Nat Blake. Nat Blake was a poor orphan boy. He was wearing very shabby dress, dirty dress. And when Mrs. Brier was talking to him, the poor boy's lips trembled as Mrs. Brier smoothed his hair. Mrs. Brier was touching his hair, and his lips were shaking, shivering. He was frightened. And her keen eyes means this Mrs. Brier was watching everything. She was eager. She was watching the boy very closely. And she became more softer. Her heart became softer. But she only drew the shabby figure nearer. But she did not feel that the boy is not having good dress or beautiful dress or clean dress. She took him more close to her, nearer, and she said, laughing, she said, I am Mother Brier. Seeing the condition of Nat Blake, she said, you don't feel anything. I am a mother. I am Mrs. Brier or Mother Brier. That gentleman is Father Brier. I introduced you the husband and wife, Mr. Brier and Mrs. Brier. And these are the two little Briers. These are the two little Briers. That means they have got two sons. Two little Briers. And come here, boys, and see Nat. So Mrs. Brier called her sons. In the last class, I forgot to introduce them. So they have got two sons, and she called them and said, come and see your new friend Nat. And they are Rob and Teddy. So Mrs. Briers and Mr. Briers, they have got two children. Their name is Rob and Teddy. I forgot to introduce you in the last class. They are Rob and Teddy. So these are the two sons of Mrs. Josephine. Tom, Rob and Teddy. So Rob and Teddy merely means happily, gladly grinned at him. Grinned at him. Grinned means smiled. Grinned. Grinned means smile. So Rob and Teddy smiled, gave a beautiful smile to our little Nat. Smiled. Okay? So Rob and Teddy merely grinned at him, but Mr. Brier shook his hands. The two kids, they only gave a smile, but Mr. Brier go and shook his hand, shake hand. He gave a shake hand and pointing to a low chair near the fire and showed him, go and sit there in that chair. Said in a cordial voice. Cordial, next word meaning is cordial. C-O-R-D-I-A-L. Cordial voice. What do you mean by cordial? Cordial means polite. When somebody comes to your house, we should speak to the people cordially. or in a polite way, otherwise they will go very fast, they will not sit there. So in a rude way, if we say something to the strangers or the visitors who comes to our home, they will go away at once. But Mr. Briar coldly in a very soft voice said to Nat, go and sit in that chair and sit near the fire. There is a place all ready for thee. We have already prepared a place for you, my son. Sit down and dry thy wet feet at once. See, already we have prepared a room for you. You go there. So in the last class I said that it was drizzling, it was raining. So Nat was fully wet. His dress were wet. So go and sit down and dry your feet. Dry your wet feet. Thy means your. Thee means you. Ready for you. Wet. So they are, my dear. Off your shoes of this minute. Off your shoes. Off your shoes means remove your shoes. Off with your shoes this minute. Now you remove your shoes because it is wet. And I will have some dry things ready for you in a jiffy. I am going to prepare you some delicious things in a jiffy. In a jiffy means within a very short time. Very fast. I am going to prepare for you something very delicious things for you. In a jiffy means within a short time. Cried Mrs. Briar. Mrs. Briar is very happy. She is telling that you sit down near the fire and I am going to prepare for you something very delicious. Now I am going to toast you well. Toast you well. Toast. Toast you well means we are not going to fry teddy. Toast you well means, what do you mean by toast you well? We are going to make you warm. Warm and comfortable. Make him try because since he is wet, they are going to toast him. Toast him means we are not going to put him in the oil. No. He is sitting in the fire, near the fire, and he is going to getting that warmth of the fire and his dress become dry. Now I am going to toast you well and try to get rid of that ugly cough. He is having very bad cough. So you are going to cure from all your illness. How long have you had it? She asked, how long have you had it? How long have you had it? What do you mean by that? How long have you had it? When we go to doctor, doctor will ask, कितना time से तुमको ये बुखार है? How long you had it? Dear, asked Mrs. Briar as she rummaged in her big basket for a strip of flannel. Rummaged, the meaning. Toast means dry. Okay? The meaning of toast is dry. And rummaged. The new word is, it's a new word for you. Rummaged. R-U-M-M-A-G-E-D. R-U-M-M-A-G-E-D. Rummaged. What is the meaning of rummage? Rummaged means something, searching something very quickly. Searching or search, S-C-A-R-C-H. Search something quickly. Something quickly. That is the meaning of rummage. Quickly. Rummage. So Mrs. Briar rummaged in a big basket for a strip of flannel. Flannel means soft woolen cloth. Flannel. F-L-A-N-N-E-L. Soft woolen cloth. That is flannel. So now Mrs. Briar is giving him flannel, woolen cloth, to make him warm. All winter I got cold and it wouldn't get better somehow. Who is telling this? All winter I got cold and it wouldn't get better somehow. Who is telling this? The boy or Mrs. Briar? Mrs. Briar is already undergoing some sort of cough and cold, so she is telling that, see, all throughout the winter I am also having the same problem. No wonder, living in that damp cellar with hardly a rag to his poor dear back. So he was living in a damp. Damp means wet. Cellar means room. Damp. D-A-M-P. Damp. Damp means wet. So all throughout all these years, especially this winter, he was living in a wet room. No wonder, living in the damp cellar with hardly a rag to his poor back, he was not having enough cloth. No warm things, he was not having any warm clothes. So that is the reason he was undergoing this cough and cold. Said Mrs. Briar in a low tone to her husband. So she was talking to Mr. Briar, who was looking at the boy with a skillful pair of eyes. So all this Mrs. Briar was talking to Nat. Mr. Briar was looking at the boy. He was looking at the skillful pair of eyes. Skillful. The boy was having a skillful pair of eyes. What do you mean by skillful? Skillful means, what is the meaning of skillful? Expert in doing something. Skillful. S-K-I-L-F-U-L. Skillful means expert. Mr. Briar knew that he has got some skillful pair of eyes that marked the thin temples and feverish lips. Feverish lips. Altogether, he was very weak in appearance due to the condition of his living. He was living in a poor condition. So he was not having enough food. So he was looking very weak. So that was the thing Mr. Briar noticed in him. That was skillful pair of eyes. Skillful pair of eyes that marked the thin temples. Temple means this both side of our cheek. Marked that feverish lips, very pale lips. Altogether he was very weak. A great bell rang. So at that time, Nat Blythe heard the bell, the ringing of the bell. The bell is very famous. You are very familiar with the bell. After each period in the school, we have got a big bell. The same way, a great bell rang, and a loud tramping through the hall announced supper. Tramping. Tramping means walking with a noise. Walking with a loud noise. Walking with a lot of noise. Or walk with a lot of noise. Sound. Okay. So when the bell rang, the boys of the Plumfield school, they were running, they were walking, making lot of noise. They were coming to the hall for the supper. So that is the meaning. Tramping means walking with a lot of noise. So once they heard the bell, they all ran together, making lot of sound, like your recess time. Recess time, walking with a lot of noise. Sorry, okay, lot of noise. So recess time, as you hear the bell, how you run to the ground, or how you go to wash your hands? Pushing, pulling, making lot of noise, howling. You go the same situation here. 12 boys. So now we came to know the exact number of the children of Plumfield School. There are 12 boys. Six on a side stood behind their chairs. So 12 boys were there. 6 stood on one side, another 6 in another side. Prancing with impatience to begin, but no one sat down till Mrs. Briar was in her place behind the teapot with Teddy on her left and Nat on her right. All the boys came prancing. Prancing means jumping around. P-R-A-N-C-I-N-G. P-R-A-N-C-I-N-G. Prancing means jumping around. So they were hungry, I think they were hungry and they were waiting. They were impatient. They had no patience to wait to begin. But no one sat down till Mrs. Briar was in her place behind the teapot with Teddy on her left and Nat on her right. So now Mrs. Briar is coming. On one side, her little son Teddy, left side, and on right side, the boy Nat. This is our new boy, Nat Blythe. Now she is introducing Nat Blake to the boys. She's telling that this is our new boy Nat Blake. After supper, you can say how do you do here. Now after supper, supper means dinner or the food that we take at night. After supper or dinner, you can talk to the boy and what all things you do here, you can tell him. Gently, boys, gently. And she said, you be gentle. Don't become impatient, gently. As she spoke, everyone stared at Nat. Everybody stared at Nat. Stared means they were all looking at him. When one new boy or girl comes to the class, how do we behave with him or her? We know that we look, we see everything what she does or what he does. The same situation here. As she spoke, everyone stared at Nat and then whisked into their seats. Whisked, W-H-I-S-K-E-D, whisked. Whisked means moved quickly. Moved quickly. So once Mrs. Brier introduced Nat to them, they all moved into their seats. Till that time they were sitting. They were standing there. Once Mrs. Brier stopped her talking, the boys went and sat in their chairs. Trying to be orderly and failing utterly. They all wanted to become very good, but they failed to do that utterly. They were talking, they were pulling, they were pushing, they were moving, they were making a lot of noise. They could not be disciplined. Nat found himself very well off behind the tall pictures. So Nat was sitting there and in front of him there was a tall pictures. Pictures means P-I-T-C-H-E-R-S. P-I-T-C-H-E-R-S. Pictures. Pictures means jug. P-I-T-C-H-E-R-S. Pictures means jug. So in front of Nat, there was a very big jug. So because of that, he was very comfortable there. With Tommy Banks just around the corner. Tommy Banks, you know, the first boy when he came to Plumfield, the first time Nat talked to him as he fell down from the balusters. He's the one who helped Tommy Banks. He was sitting in the corner and Mrs. Brier close by to fill up plate and mug as fast as he could empty them. So Mrs. Brier, since he had fallen from there, Mrs. Brier took special care of him. She was filling his mug. Mug means cup and plate, and he went on eating. Who went on eating? Tommy Banks. Mrs. Brier had put Nat next to Tommy. So Mrs. Brier made him sit near Tommy because that roly-poly boy had a frank and social way with him. Roly-poly. Roly-poly means fat or plump. Roly-poly. Roly-poly means plump. Plump means fat. So we know that. We came to know that now Tommy Banks, he was little fat. Roly-poly boy had a frank and social way with him, very attractive to shy persons. Social way means friendly manner. So the behavior of Tommy he was very friendly with everyone. Especially those who are very shy in nature, he will go to them and make them very comfortable. In the classroom also, in our classroom also, some students will be very social, very friendly. They will go and make others very comfortable. The same way Tommy was very social, very friendly. Nat felt this and had made several small confidences during supper. So Nat understood the behavior of Tommy, and during supper, Nat talked to him. He shared his secrets. Confidences. Confidences means secrets. Confidences. So Nat already learned the character of Tommy and he shared his secrets to Tommy during supper, which gave Mrs. Brier the key to the new boy's character. So Mrs. Briar was learning the behavior of Nat. So the way he talked to Tommy, so she understood that the boy is he's very good. The new boy's character, she learned his character better than if she had talked to him herself. She understood that if I talk to him myself, I will not understand him this much. But now I understood the behavior of Nat. Now today only I will read till the letter. So that we came to know that when he came to the plum field, he had a letter in his hand. So with this letter only he entered the Plumfield school. So now I will show you the letter after one more line. In the letter which Mr. Lawrence had sent with Nat, he had said. So now you can see the letter which he brought. This is a letter. Now I will explain to you. So the letter Mr. Lawrence had written to Mrs. Briar or Mrs. Josephine. It is written here, Dear Joe. Here is a case after your own heart. This poor lad is an orphan now, sick and friendless. He has been a street musician, and I found him in a cellar, mourning for his dead father and his lost violin. I think there is something in him. You cure his overtasked body. Let Fritz help his neglected mind, and when he is ready, I will see if he is genius or only a boy with a talent which may earn his bread for him. Give him a trial, Teddy. So this is the letter he handed to Mrs. Josephine. This is the letter. And in the letter, it is clear for you. He is sitting near his dead father. His father is already dead. And his lost violin. He had a violin. He lost that violin. He was crying. He was crying for his lost father and violin. Overtasked body, he was tired. In that condition, Mr. Lawrence found him. That was the thing Lawrence had written to Mrs. Josephine. And she is telling that just to find whether the boy is genius or make him genius, that he will earn his bread. Earn his bread for him. Earn his bread means he will do some work and he will eat his food. This is the letter he handed to Mrs. Josephine. And today I am stopping my class. Hope you have understood my class. In the next class I will come with more explanation. And today I explained to you page number 16 and page number 17 half. You can have the view of page number 16, close view of page number 16 and page number 17. I request you students, please listen my class and understand the feeling of the boy. Put yourself into the same situation. See how comfortable we are. Whatever things God has given us, think about the poor boy and feel sympathy to the poor. So, bye-bye. Thank you for listening.